Hi everyone, I'm Niraj Harlalka from Eduverance is a online career counseling assistance platform and also offers courses around education and especially on attitudes and dispositions. Today I'm here to share one of my early successes and early failures, like something which happened a long time back. But I'll just try and share some of the things which I learned from that, what went wrong after getting, and what we did right to have a great success early on. So this is about a specific business which I was running, I think about 15 years back from now. This was a call center DSA, direct selling agency for a call center. And we were working for one of the top banks at that time. We were working for Citibank. And so we had the success was that we were doing pretty well in what we were doing. And we were able to scale up to 125 people, have multiple offices in Kolkata, in some of the best localities, have an excellent set of people who are all driving the company, working hard for it. Now, the failure happened when we moved from Citibank to Deutsche Bank. So, as you know, credit cards, it's a tough business. And when you shift to companies, new companies, they may have different policies. Deutsche Bank, unfortunately, did not have the right processes in place that time, and they were just launching in India. So we had already built a large team and we moved to them, and they were not giving us the output of, like, for example, we are submitting 100 cards. So Citi used to tell us that, okay, these 30 cards are eligible for output, and we used to get payouts on that. So Deutsche Bank for the first 3 months did not tell us the card output. They said, don't worry, we are setting up our processes. And we had massively scaled to a lot of people, 25, almost 125 team we had. And Deutsche Bank kept lingering for 3 months. And to support us with the salaries, they offered us a loan, which was an interest-free loan. And so we took that loan and we started paying the salaries. And we felt, okay, we are growing. We knew that the industry standard, because we were already in the business, was somewhere close to 33%. But after 3 months, they gave us the shocker. They said that your card out rate is 16%. And so now we were bleeding money. We had already taken loan from Deutsche Bank. And to give back that loan, we probably have to take loan from somewhere else. So this early success where a 27, 28-year-old guy started to make, along with his partner who was also younger to him, he was 24, 25. So suddenly we saw that we are in debt, whereas we were making a lot of money. So early money, we were in fact thinking of buying some land at that time. We started making so much of quick money. But then this sudden risk, which we never calculated, came in front of us. What that did was it got me thinking as to the risk management side of it, whether this business is worth getting into, how will it scale up? Because if we are facing this kind of risk, where the entire 3 months or 6 months profits and stuff is wiped out in a month, then how do we cope up with this? So I decided this may not be the kind of business I want to get into. So I informed my partner. And so I told him I'll come out of the business, but I'll pay part, because Deutsche Bank had offered us to pay the dues over a period of time. But suddenly he was like completely, I think he was also having his first setback. So things got really nasty there. He had some card collection background as well. So he started threatening me and did some nasty calls about me and my family. And that was completely unwarranted for. So this success was, everything was fine. He was working like my younger brother. But when failure stuck, like I was also shattered at that time. I went into a kind of a depression that I was doing a successful business, coming out of family business. And then suddenly everything from all quarters I was facing a lot of, because we had to arrange for money. My co-founder was kind of becoming abusive. The partners whom we had at that time, the staff was also like jittery about salaries. So everything was starting to fall apart at a faster pace than the pace at which we had. So from a team of 6 people to 125 in 9 months, and then a team of maybe 10, 15 in the next month. So we did have a basic bare team, but then we said I will not. I said I will not be able to go further. So there was a lot of means after that I had to get into a legal stuff and come out of the business. It was really tough time for me. I got into sort of a depressive state. And my biggest learning at that time was the support from family. So my wife, she actually helped me come out of this. I was not going to office with the fear of having to face that entire team. And my co-founder was really abusive at that time. So after some time and some really bad threatening from him, my wife decided, let's go and face your fears. Because if you just don't go and don't deal with it, you're never going to come out. So after maybe 15, 20 days of real trauma, I went and confronted my partner in front of the entire team, and I told him the situation. And I told him that this is business and I should have the right to move out and you cannot be abusive. So we are here, whatever you want to say, let's have a discussion. So, but unfortunately, he didn't come out of his room. So we had to keep shouting from the outside room so that every staff could hear as to what was happening behind the scenes. That was a very, very bad episode. But the good part was that helped me kind of have a lot of faith in the relationship I had with my family. There were important lessons in that failure. So the most important lesson in that failure was that business has to be done with some risk management. So early success, we never calculated what happens if something goes wrong, especially when we were moving to a new brand. So, and there was a lot of dependency on our business from one supplier. That is, earlier it was Citibank and then it became Deutsche Bank. So I think businesses, especially when you are doing a DSA kind of business or you're heavily dependent on one supplier or one partner, then it becomes really difficult to bounce back from that failures. Yeah. So one is I would recommend that after that, most of my businesses have been where we're not wholly dependent on supplier partner. And another learning was that cash management has to be done, and you cannot do a lot of business without having clarity. So there was a lot of ambiguity in what the card out rate will be. So, and you cannot have an assumption that the same was happening in City, so the same will happen in Deutsche. So I think those assumptions were really, really misfired and backfired for us. So after that, I've not kept a lot of assumptions in the numbers. We do assume, but with a little more risk calculation. So those were some of the early learnings and from the success and from the failure.
Okay, awesome. And after that, you started multiple other businesses. So currently you are parents. So what are you up to that, and what do you hope to achieve from that?
Yeah, so I think at EduParents, as I said, we are trying to help students with their career choices, students from grade 7 to grade 12. And it's more like a mission. I've done several other ventures in between. There was one, I said, learning from the first venture. I swear that I'll never work with partners again. But I think that is also one mistake I did, because after that, I missed some opportunities. But fortunately for me, I was able to let go of that feeling that I will never work with partners. So I'm working with a co-founder here as well. And even in my previous ventures, I've had excellent people as co-founders. So you may have one bad experience, but you don't carry that throughout your life and don't miss out on opportunities. That's another learning from that first failure. And yeah, I think pretty much trying to solve the problem of what to do, what career to select. So that is what we're doing at EduParents right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Niraj bhai, for sharing your story, sharing your personal story. So we really appreciate that. And friends who are watching this video, if you are interested in talking about your lessons from failures, do let us know.